Welcome to Squatch-D where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
And good evening, cyberspace. Welcome to Squatch-D for today's date, February 5th, 2025. I'm your host, your guide, the Squatch Detective, Steve Kulls, along with my co-host right down there, Mr. Chris Bennett. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Steve, man, it's good to see you.
Good seeing you too, brother.
Hope everything's going good for you in New York. We're a little, the weather's a little damp here today. We've really gotten a lot of rain today. A lot. But it's not snow.
No.
Are you still getting snowed in up there?
No. We've been getting dripped and drabbed every once in a while, a couple inches here, a couple inches there, but you know, it melts off. Right now the snow is more like an icy cake on top of the lawns right now. You know, you go in there, it's all crunchy and crunch, yeah. But the office assistant just got down and ran out of the office.
Well, you know,
I don't know where he's going.
He's probably looking for a snack.
Well, no, he just had a bone. I don't know what he's on. What are you doing, dummy?
If you guys have any of those Rural King stores up there, you should stop in and get him a pig ear sometime. And we'll get both of them a pig ear.
There's a problem with piggy ears is we give them every once in a while, they get a piggy ear, and Watson doesn't eat his all at once.
Right. Yeah.
So he tends to get very guarding of it. And he goes after the German Shepherd.
Oh yeah.
If she gets too close.
Yeah. That was the only issue we had with the Yorkies. Everybody got their own pig ear, and some would hide it from the rest.
Yeah.
Then when the other ones ran out, they would like sneak and find the hiding places, and it causes lots of issues.
So welcome, everybody. Tonight's going to be kind of a laid-back, kind of fun show tonight. We're going to get into some Bigfoot topics, and we're going to get into, you know, some fun Bigfoot topics. And, hang on a second. I got hot off the press. Hang on.
Well, this should be good.
All right, yeah, hot off the press. There we are.
All right.
My one little script for tonight, as far as a story that was probably one of the funniest stories but tragic story that I've heard in a while. But tonight's going to just be we're just doing an hour tonight. We're going to have a little fun.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, quick promotional stuff coming out March 1st. Of course, is the book and all books is Bigfoot: A Scientific Examination. And I'll tell you what, Chris, have you gotten into it anymore now?
Yeah, I've got another 75 pages in. I think it's been a little chilly. But I'm still enjoying it. I love it. Again, it's not a romance novel or something you can sit around and read, but it's a good collection of literature, scientific literature on the Bigfoot subject. And basically, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm playing a game as I'm reading along. I'm trying to think of a question in my mind. You know, what would Bigfoot do in this case? And sure enough, you know, I pop up on it eventually in the book.
Yeah,
you went through a good variety of questions, and I like that.
Yep. Yeah, we try to answer every question in there, as many as. And you know, the funny thing is I sat here the other day and I thought of another question. I'm like, well, you know what? But you know, you can only push it so far. I think 400 pages is a robust enough book to answer probably about 95% of the questions you have on a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I find it interesting. I would have gone through the complete thing if I could sit down at one time and be warm and toasty.
But there is some deep reading in there. There is some scientific concepts that are in there.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's in certain chapters of the book, it's a lot more elaborate because there's more information, and the more information you have, the more elaborate you can be. And what this does is it props up everything I've said over the years about Bigfoot's existence. And for those who think we don't know anything about Bigfoot, you got to read this book. We know a lot more than based upon comparative analysis of the rest of us.
That's because of our base tenet that we stick to the truth and fact and science, and don't go off into the woo-wooville.
But speaking of woo-wooville, let's do the roll call first. Yeah. And in chat tonight, of course, first in tonight is our official representative of the lurkers, Roy. First in tonight. Hello, Roy.
And all the lurkers out there. We appreciate you guys.
And of course, we got Pete H in the house, Sandra Piper, Ron Meldrum, hello, Martin Stiltz, hello from Hominid Academia.
Welcome.
Did we already say Sandra Piper? If we didn't, we're saying it now. Hello, Sandra Piper. Robert Den Duven, how are you? Sharon, of course, our good friend from Belgium. Grant Rasha, hello, brother Grant. Billy from Sasquatch Radio, which, yep, there's good old Billy. Good to see you, Billy. Jen, hello, Jen. And of course, Baron is probably nearby. Who else? Susie Monster. What's going on, Susie Monster? Danny Weeks. Hello, Danny. Good to see you. Of course, we got Jen in that. We already said Jen. Yep, and that looks like it for now that are the people talking in the chat. So cool.
Thanks, guys. Yep. Appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with us on a Wednesday night.
But tonight tonight's kind of it's kind of a night that we're just gonna sit back and relax, have a little fun, talk a little Bigfoot. There's the tackle tactician. Hello, Mr. Tactician.
Hey, man. Representing Kentucky, yes. I'd like to see more of my Kentucky neighbors come in. That's good.
So,
Tennessee neighbors too.
Yep. Everybody's welcome here. Even those that don't believe, even those that believe in the woo, even people that, they're all welcome to come in and get a little bit of an education. And we're going to get some nasty weather tomorrow. Some snow mixed with a couple inches of snow, mixed with some rain, mixed with some freezing rain, mixed with some sleet. And I'll be driving in it all day tomorrow. So
yeah, man,
it's going to be a fun day.
I hate having ice on the roads. And then, when we have the ice storms, it gets on the power lines. And next thing you know, you're gassing up the generator for a week. I'm glad when spring gets here. I'm ready.
I'm lucky, believe it or not, since my house was only built in 2022. Actually, 2021. It was built the end of 2021. I moved in 2022. Yeah. All my power lines are underground.
Yeah.
I have a pole, but all the lines connecting to the house are underground. The cable, the power lines, everything.
Yeah. I like that. We do the same thing here. I mean, we got our power lines are underground here, but coming from the pole. But there's always a problem somewhere else, and it turns off the electricity going to your. But it's not like it happens all the time, and not every year. But, when we had that tornado, we were out for probably about 3 or 4 days. And then I think there's been one major ice storm where we lost power for a couple of days, but nothing major.
I think Tactical Tactician figured out that I was drinking iced tea, and he's like, ice belongs in tea.
That's right. That's right.
Mine's coming chilled out of the fridge. So,
yeah, I've tried hot tea. My wife made some green tea one time. I'm like, oh God, if you've never tried green tea, let me save you the trouble. Don't.
I drink green tea all the time.
Oh, you like green tea? Oh,
with honey.
Okay, well, I can understand. You're covering it up a little bit, yeah. You could put honey in water from a mud puddle and drink it.
I have green tea with ginseng and honey.
Yeah.
But this is what is the name of that freaking tea? It's the brewed one.
Yeah, I've tried other hot tea too. I've tried, the Lipton tea bags. I put that in a cup of water one time, and it's just not the same. Even if you add sugar, drinking it warm is not the same as iced tea for some
Do you
reason.
know what I like is chai tea?
Chai tea. Is that the one with milk? Is that?
Well, you can put milk in it if you want. I don't.
Chai tea. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not certain. Is that just Chinese tea?
No, that is that's more of an Indian tea.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I just have the whatever they put in the.
Yeah, it's got that
brand
spicing in it and whatnot. It's got some very interesting spice in it. It's really good. So anyway, let's take a trip down memory lane as Steve gets his first. Steve gets his first motorcycle ride, his first motorbike ride.
Yeah, cool.
Let's do that. Here we go.
Oh God. Well, that reminds me of the first little dirt bike I bought Andy. It's one of those little 2-strokes, but it wasn't him that was riding it. It was me. I flipped it over on my back.
Oh,
it was hilarious. I love that footage. That was so good.
Yeah,
you could have let him start out in an open field somewhere. That would have been a better.
Come on, what other Bigfoot show do you get videos like that?
Well, I hope the kid was okay. I hope he turned out okay.
Well,
but those little 2-stroke bikes. Okay, when Andy turned 4 years old, so we're talking several years back now. I just, I'm that kind of dad. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get him a dirt bike. So I got him a little 49cc 2-stroke, China special dirt bike because it was cheap, and I figured he's gonna tear it up anyway. And so I get it out there. I've got it juiced up, gassed up, and I started up and I was running it, and I told my wife, I said, watch this. This thing is powerful. And I would hit the throttle and it would go, ying, ying, and it would spin gravels. And she was like, no, he's not going to be on that. It's okay. Watch. And I hopped on it and I hit the throttle and that little thing shot right out from under me. And I landed on my back. So I got up and dusted myself off. I said, well, honey, you know what? I think you're right. Let's not let him happen.
I don't know. When I first saw that video, when they were putting the kid on there, I go, this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
The kid looks like he can hardly walk, and you're going to put him on a bike,
right? Like he's a little young there. Maybe he needed something with something that with training wheels that with a throttle,
or maybe some pedals instead.
Yeah. Or something electric.
That looks like a Kentucky rite of passage there, actually.
Oh, well, hey, they say if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. So I've grown up pretty tough over the years. Oh, man, I love mini bikes. I think it's good for kids. Little go-karts. I think it's good. Let them get out and ride around and experience life on the edge.
I'm fine all night long until I get on the podcast, and then I just want to cough.
It did look like the helmet was a little heavy for him, Grant. Yeah. It looked like he was like,
Looked like everything was heavy for him.
Yeah, that he was a little young.
Looks like his dad was heavy for him too.
Well, I can't talk about anybody's belly because I've got a big one right now. Wintertime, I always put on about 20 or so odd pounds. But
fact, I think that guy's nickname is World because it takes 80 days to get around him. Anyway,
yeah, Dad had good intentions there, but it kind of came back to bite him. Mine did too. After I went and got I went and got Andy a 4-wheeler after I decided, well, okay, he's going to get killed on this little dirt bike. And I took him out in the middle of the field on the farm, on the back of the farm. And it was a little 50cc 4-stroke, much slower. He hopped on it, took off riding as fast as it would go. And then he turned the wheel to the side because I guess he had watched on TV people sliding them sideways or something.
Oh, no.
Of course, it flipped over on him. And there, he's 100 feet away and I'm there in like 2 seconds. Man, I set a world record getting there. I felt like I was just hitting the ground every now and then.
Like Chris does this Carl Lewis imitation.
Yeah. I was there in 2 seconds and I'm like, are you okay? And he's crying. I said, you're all right? You feel like anything hurt? And he was just crying, my 4-wheeler. I said, don't worry about the 4-wheeler. Can you move your legs? But the whole time I was beating it across the field there, I was thinking, oh my God, I've given this because I love him and I've killed him. I've killed my son. It was horrifying. After that, he still got to ride it around the yard and I had a rope tied to it. I was holding on to the back end of the 4-wheeler. So about 25 feet of rope and he could ride around, but Dad was out there.
Kind of looks like one of the, the helicopter that had the little like,
yeah. Exactly. So if he got a little fast, Dad could put the brakes on for him.
Yeah, well, at least you hope so.
Hey,
look, there's a 4-wheeler with a kid driving it, and there's a guy being dragged with a rope.
Yes, I'm sure we were the talk of everybody that drove by while he was out there riding.
Wow, he puts his kid on a leash, and now he puts the kid on a bike, and he's still got him on a leash.
Yeah, got the bike on a leash. But he had a good time, and he's still got that little 4-wheeler. Of course, there's no way. I can't fit on that thing. It's really little. But maybe we'll fix it up and give it to one of the grandkids or something. Somebody will get some more use out of it.
Oh, Jesus.
But it's a terrible feeling to buy your child something, out of love and then end up getting hurt on it. It's like, oh my God, what I've done. Oh yes, there was a throttle stop on it. Yes. And I adjusted that right after he flipped it in the field. Because that was the first thing I had to do there, Tack, was there's got to be some way I can slow this thing down. And I did. Oh, man.
Tell you what, I got in a 4-wheeler once. By the time I got off the damn thing, I was saddle sore for about 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, what the?
Yeah.
Makes hell when you have to go to the bathroom. You're like, what the? Oh, wow.
Go-karts and mini bikes, though, are good for kids. And if you got a young son or a young daughter,
when I was a kid, I used to have a go-kart. It was completely made of wood and it had pedal, and you would roll it down a hill. Man, that sucker flew.
Yep.
And
yep.
Then we had a couple of other ones we jerry-rigged. They didn't work out. So some of them didn't work out so well, but some of them did. And that brings out memories. I forgot about that go-kart.
Yes. I mean, back in the 70s, we did the same thing in my neighborhood. We had seen this little episode on TV. They were soapbox derby racers. And so everybody went outside behind their dad's tool shed and found 2x4s and lawnmower wheels and stuff, and rigged up something that you could push each other around on and ride on. But those were the days, man. That was fun. We didn't need it. We could make a freaking go-kart. Yeah. No engine, it was kid powered, but still fun nonetheless.
In Schoharie County, New York, they don't have soapbox racers. No, they do not. They just hang on a second. Yeah, they don't have soapbox racers in Schoharie County. You know why?
Why?
There's no soap. They just have box racers.
Oh, that's terrible.
If you've ever seen the Schoharie County family tree, it only has one branch.
But being a Gen X kid growing up, man, we did things like that. We used ramps for bicycles. Yes, made jumps using boards and cement blocks. Right.
We used to skateboard.
Yes, skateboarding. Hey, man, I believe I haven't done it for several years, maybe 40 years.
Several? You mean several hundred years?
Yeah, maybe it's probably actually 45 years ago, last time I stepped on a skateboard. But I have no doubt that I could ride one. I may hurt myself, though. If I fell now, things would be different. It'd be like, oh, my hip. Yes. But I believe I can still ride a skateboard. I don't know. It's, the knowledge is still there. I don't know if the ability still remains, but just kind of like skating. We used to go skating at roller rinks, and that's something you don't see anymore.
We actually have a roller rink nearby us.
Wow.
It's pretty popular.
Well, there were two in this general area. There was one in Cave City and one in Glasgow, Kentucky. And both of those have shut down, so there's really nowhere to go skating around here.
See, the problem with the skating rink in our area is that, and I always felt that even as a teenager, it was just over monitored. They had too many people, watching you.
Oh yeah, well, you got to keep an eye on teenagers. You have a place with a dark corner there. There's going to be trouble.
But I know. Truthfully, I never liked the place, and I couldn't roller skate to save my life. Yeah. So I always.
Well, everybody starts out that way.
Bastion shins and.
Yes.
Now here's an interesting story. Grant Rasha mentioned bowling.
Yeah.
So it had to be the mid '80s. Me and my best friend, we drove down to, at the time I was driving, so I think we drove down to Broadway Bowl, which was in Troy, New York, and we decided to bowl a few evening games.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there for about a half hour when these very drunken, obnoxious English guys, young guys, showed up next to us.
Yeah.
And they were being, a little bit rambunctious, but they were very polite. They were polite, though. They came over, they said hello to us. They started up a conversation and said, hey, hey, if you can catch us, we're the opening act for the band at the Palace tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
And as we left, they were still in there, still getting sauced up pretty good. As we left, we saw this beautiful tour bus that was, out in the parking lot right next to the Holiday Inn, because the bowl was next to an old Holiday Inn.
Uh-huh.
And it was just, wow, look at that tour bus. It's really cool. I'm gonna have to check out the Metroland, see who's playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then forgot to check the Metroland. And then about 6 months later, we saw a video on MTV, and there were the guys.
Oh, heck. I'll be dang.
And then we realized, wait a minute, and we start looking at tour dates, and we're like, oh my goodness, these guys opened for Aerosmith.
Oh, wow.
At the Palace in Albany. Yeah. And the band's name?
Yeah, who were they?
Def Leppard.
Are you kidding me? Def Leppard, no joke. Wow. Awesome.
And it was before the drummer lost his arm.
Yeah.
And, yep.
I'll be damned. Went bowling with Def Leppard.
Went bowling with Def Leppard.
Before they were big, yeah.
Just as they were just about to get big.
Yeah.
They were just starting. That's why they were still doing. They were doing opening for me. They were touring with the main act.
Right. Awesome, man.
So yeah, that was really cool. Like, oh my god, that was and you know well, obviously at the time the most intoxicated one was the drummer. But you know, still they were really nice guys. Very, you know, they knew they were being loved. They weren't profane. They were just having fun and being silly.
Yeah.
And they saw us over there, and they're like, "Oh, hi guys, how are you?" And they were very nice. They know that, you know, we were young, and they were kind of pitching their show tomorrow, and they weren't saying, "Oh, we're this or we're that." They didn't even say who they were. They were very humble,
Right.
but they were very fun and just happy to be there.
Yeah. Well, they were having a good time out on the town, man.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. So and truthfully, Lori, I do not even know any of their names. I've met, you know, several other people from bands. I've met Rob Zombie before. I've met Wayne Static, the late Wayne Static from Static X. I've met Benji from the band Skindred, which is really a cool band. Skindred is a fusion pop reggae metal band. It's really good stuff. And but yeah, they, you know, last time they were at a place, Benji actually grabbed me and insisted I have a drink with him at the bar. So it's really, I mean, because I've met him a couple of times, but met some really cool people over the years. And of course, even Skindred, that's an English band as well. I tend to get along with the Brits.
Yeah.
So
Very cool. Grant. Yeah, Grant's met so many.
Well, yeah. So Grant.
Yeah.
So okay, so Grant said that he worked Woodstock 99. That must have been the one they had in the western part of the state. That was a disaster. I worked Woodstock 98, which was at the original location in Bethel, New York. And I had the mixer, which is the best. And my job there was very simple. I just stood there at the gate to the mixer, and you know, and nobody did it. You know, only people with passes were allowed to get through because they were working the stage show, and the mixer has all the lights and the sound and everything there. So they control all the stage from there. But the nice thing about there is that I can see the whole stage beautifully.
Yeah, thanks, Tack. Yeah.
Yep, Rome, New York.
Not believing that. Hey, man, since you mentioned Woodstock, I've got a Woodstock story. When I was a little kid, the original Woodstock, was going on. I had no idea, knew nothing about it. Didn't figure this out till years later. But we used to go to my grandma and granddad's house every Sunday and have Sunday dinner and plus fellowship with the family, you know. And one Sunday, somebody said, "Hey, let's go see the hippies." And of course, you know, I'm like a little kid, you know, I'm like, hippies? Yeah, there's these people that have like long hair, they're hippies. And
yeah, let's go see the hippies.
Exactly.
Okay, Carter.
They were a group that is passing through, and I don't know if they were going to Woodstock or they were coming from Woodstock, but this group of several hundred hippies had rented this guy's farm and they were camping out there. And of course, yeah, we drove through, and you know,
hey, Robert Denduven. Robert Denduven, if he said, you know, Todd Standing, maybe I'd say his bar is way too low. But me and Chris, come on.
We drove through there, and sure enough, I saw all these hippies. And some of them were like, you know, sitting around the fire playing a guitar. And some of them were in this guy's pond taking a bath in a pond. Okay. And I remember, you know, they were like, you know, cover up, you know, don't let the kids see the naked girls out there. But I saw them anyway. But yeah, and I don't know if they were going to Woodstock or coming from Woodstock. But I saw the hippies as a small child, and I was just, thrilled to death. I was like, "Oh my God, they're hippies! Wow,
get me a Snapple."
it was cool. It was cool. I saw the hippies. Uh, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I would come to realize it later in life that was the first time I ever smelled the burning smell of the devil's lettuce.
Ooh, the devil's lettuce.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was at the time.
Mary Jane grass.
Later on, I was like, "Hey, I've smelled that before." Oh man. But it's so funny, I feel like I have a connection with Woodstock because I saw the people that went there. Oh man. Something like that's never happened again, as far as I'm aware.
I'm sure it did, just nobody mentioned it.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, Chris, Yeah, Chris was talking about boobies for a week after he saw the hippies.
Well, okay, I was really young at the time, so they weren't.
Well, hello,
priority.
Whitey Ray. That kind of popped out one of our lurkers.
Whitey Ray, yes. Whitey Ray popped out into the mainstream of the chat. Good to see you there, Whitey. But yeah, I wasn't really interested in that sort of thing at that time. But I looked though; I did see him. I was like, "Oh, ooh, that girl is naked,"
Now batting number 64, Manny Mona. Hey, I got a new special effect. Yes, the red zone is for dropping off. The red zone is no parking.
But yeah, I saw the hippies from Woodstock.
Yeah. That's right. Nice.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I saw the hippies from Woodstock in '98. They were much older. Much older.
I can't. I wonder if some of the same people were up there.
Yeah, yes, we call it the Sagarama.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting because we were doing crowd control. We were very military dressed. We were all in black BDUs. Their shirts are bright with the security on them and everything like that. Right. And everybody, and we were all wearing ball caps because otherwise we would burn up. And I remember there was people sneaking their Mary Jane or their grass or whatever you want to call it, and they would look over at me and I'd be like, "I don't care. I'm not the cops. I'm just." And I would tell them the only thing I'm worried about is you don't cross this line. See, this line is for people with passes only. I don't care what you do otherwise.
Yeah,
or shy of killing somebody or assaulting somebody, of course, but.
No crimes on this side of the line, please.
And what a chill crowd. I mean, the whole 3 days, it was nothing like the Rome one next year, which I actually opted not to do. Thank God. Because that was the one where they had fires and all kinds of stuff going on at the end. It was really horrible. There's a really good Netflix documentary on the 99 Woodstock. But in 98, the first 2 days were, or the first day, there was a 2-day event. Day one had a lot of the older bands. It was opened by Richie Havens, and they had people like Stevie Nicks and a few other people. Ziggy Marley was there. And the second day, they had more of the alternative day, and the headliner there was Pete Townsend of The Who, which was phenomenal because the show ended with Teenage Wasteland. And that was friggin' phenomenal. So,
Tacticians asked me if I ever went to the summer jams in Louisville in the late 70s. No, I did not. I was probably actually old enough to start going to concerts at that time. But unfortunately, I didn't have the transportation or the money.
Speaking of which, Grant mentioned a few bands. Did you know that Silent J from Insane Clown Posse actually had a Bigfoot sighting?
No, I didn't know that.
And if anybody's interested in getting Silent, if just by a show of hands over there in the chat, if you want me to see if I can try to get Silent J to come on the show, he has done Bigfoot podcasts before. So if you guys want to hear Silent J's story and talk about the Bigfoot mystery with him, let us know in the chat below. I'd love to get him on, just have a little fun. And we can also talk some pro wrestling too.
Insane clown posse. That's pretty fun. Bigfoot Cup release. Hey,
Crystal.
Oh, yeah.
No, not Silent J. Not Silent J. Violent.
I have no idea. I have no idea. The first time I heard of the Insane Clown Posse was on an episode
Violent J. Yeah, Violent J.
Squidbillies.
Yeah, and truthfully, I've Jay and Silent Bob is from Clerks.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I thought Silent. I meant Violent J. But Silent J, actually, not Silent J.
Violent J.
Violent J. And Silent Bob. Well, you know, when you get this old, sometimes names just run all together.
Yeah, things kind of bleed together.
Mr. Kulls, please report to the nurse's office. It's time for your medication. Anyway, Violent J.
Violent J.
Violent
Okay.
J. But yeah. But as far as Jay and Silent Bob, I have met Jason Mewes, who is Jay of Jay and Silent Bob. So I met him at the Saratoga Comic-Con, who came over to my booth, said hello.
Yeah. They had a performance in what was that movie? Dogma.
Oh yeah, they're in a ton of movies.
It was hilarious. It
was
was
all the Clerks movies, Dogma.
Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Grizzly Adams? My favorite line. But yes, great time. So, what better time, since we're having laughs, what better time than to show? I see Batmom, the Jay Fritz walked in.
Hey.
Bristol showed up. Brian S. is in the house now. Of course, we got Whitey Ray in the house, which is awesome.
Welcome, Whitey.
Good to see another person making themselves known in the chat. It's always good to have new friends. And Roker's in the house as well. That's right. Jason Mewes did a Bigfoot show with Jack Osborne. Yep. Of course, Jason, when Mewes was at my table long before that even aired. So maybe it kind of put a spark in him. Who knows? But
I've been looking on the old Netflix and HBO and stuff for new Bigfoot documentaries, new stuff, but I haven't found anything new.
No, Grant, I knew nothing about a Bigfoot body being found. Not recently, anyway. You know who might know?
Don't get me a Snapple.
He might know about a Bigfoot body being found.
Well, we appreciate you, Whitey, man. I tell you what, I hope you'll come back and join us next time too. Because
we do a lot of science shows, but sometimes during the midweek we just want to have a little bit of fun, get on the air for an hour and stir the pot, have a little fun. That's what we do on Wednesdays, a little more of a laid back night. And Fridays we try to do evals, and Sundays we're more topical, and we try to do all kinds of neat science stuff.
Yeah. Wednesdays and Fridays sometimes, and then every Sunday. unless something bad happens.
Yeah. So anyway, before we move into the next video, let's talk about this guy. This was a story from a couple of years ago. Always makes me chuckle. This is the guy who killed his fishing partner. Claiming he wanted him dead by the hand of the mythical monster Bigfoot. And they were noodling, which I have no idea what that is, which is a popular fishing technique used in the southern United States to catch fish by sticking one's hand in its mouth.
Yes.
Okay. So I didn't know that was the term for it. They call it noodling.
Yeah. You walk along the edge of the creek or the river, and you reach below the water line. You reach under the bank and find cubby holes where fish is like wallered their way up in there. And stick your arm up there in there, not knowing what you're going to pull out. And I've never been really interested in doing that. Never been interested in doing that.
I don't get it. I Bigfoot made me do it. I just don't get it.
Well, I think I read some of the details of the trial, and at that time, I think they were both using an illegal substance, and it had caused them to be awake for like 3 to 5 days. And so they were or somebody was hallucinating. Somebody was hallucinating big time.
Now,
yeah, I don't think I've never been really interested in that, and people, guys that do that, and there are people around here that go noodling. They come out with some of the largest catfish. I mean, as long as your leg.
That's messed up. Well, I gotta say, Batman, that's a very interesting proposal there, but obviously you've never been a 19-year-old teenager. A male, that is. Anyway.
But from
family show, we'll leave it at that. Let the minds go where they want to go.
Once you put your hand inside the catfish's mouth, it will bite down, and then supposedly you're supposed to stick your fingers through its gills and then pull it out. And but no, thank you. I don't care if I could catch the biggest catfish I ever caught in my life. I'll just stick to the fishing rod and reel. Thank you. If I can't catch one on my fishing pole, I don't want it.
It's kind of a cheap way to fish too, though. You don't need any bait. You're the bait. You're the bait.
Yeah, well, it's not really. I think it's cheating, really, because you're catching the fish in his home, and there's no skill. So you just reach in there and grab it. Is he home? Yeah, okay, I got him.
Well, speaking of bait. We did this film a few years ago about my infamous baiting Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Hey, folks. We're going to check out what a lot of people don't know is for the last few weeks, I've been leaving a gifting bowl out to bait the Sasquatch. And I've been leaving fruit. And a lot of times the fruit will just be gone. It's got to be Bigfoot. And all of a sudden, one day I came back, and in the bowl, there was a rock. Oh, Bigfoot. There was a rock. So I kept baiting it with fruit and vegetables. And then I started putting out raw steaks and chicken. And then the next thing you know, it left a glyph. And look at that glyph. It said, hi, H-I. So I left some more stuff out. And this time I added fruits and meat and vegetables. And then the next thing I got, it left me a note. I is Bigfoot. And we all know how they can spell. It's obvious. It's quantum physics. That's how they can spell. So, We're going to check what it left today in the gifting bowl. Let's go up to the gifting bowl, see what it left. Oh, I'm so excited. It's been leaving all kinds of great things. Where's the gifting bowl? Oh, there's the gifting bowl. Oh, my God. It left an iPhone. Awesome. Quantum physics. That explains it all. Who knows? Maybe the Bigfoot will actually call me on this. Catch y'all later, folks. Hashtag stop the lunacy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that one never gets old.
That was good. You know, amazingly, you did this prior to Igor Burtsev getting a phone call from Bigfoot.
I did.
It was like
a full year before I had done that. Maybe that's where he got the. Maybe that's where he got the idea from. I don't know. I just don't know.
Nostradamus, you know.
Here, let me. Oh no! More like Karnak the Great.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Johnny Carson doing Carmack. That was great. Or Karnak. Carmack or Karnak? I can't remember.
I think it was Karnak because Carmack was and that was because Carmack was the gypsy in the box. You know, where you'd put the money in and your fortune would come out. So he created Karnak, which was the. A lot of people don't remember Johnny Carson.
Oh man,
those were the days.
Well, the gifting bowl thing was fun, you know. But I just want to. I know you did that as a joke and to poke fun at these quantum physics guys. But do you think some people took that seriously? Do you think there's somebody out there that took that seriously?
I hope not, because it said right on it parody. I made sure it said parody.
Right.
Jay, thank you so much.
Jay Fritz gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Wow. We're not worthy. Thank you.
We're not worthy.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, and there again, I there's a whole chapter in I don't know if you've gotten to that chapter yet in the book where I talk about there's actually a scientific paper on trying to see what chapter that is. Yes, I think it's page 212. What is the actual name of the title? Anthropomorphic Attribution and Scientific Analysis of Paranormal Abilities in Bigfoot Research.
Yeah.
And I go in and talk, and I think it's the second biggest paper in the book. Maybe the third longest, but there's now, you know, we talk about, you know, academic commentaries and psychological factors and attribution, et cetera, et cetera. I have not seen a female Bigfoot attacking a man video. I don't know if that's a joke or not, but certainly sounds like a joke. Because if it was anything real, it would be all over the news by now.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a whole chapter on that in the book, and again, everything is so cross-referenced with science and scientists and studies and everything. It was quite the work. Right. Oh, that explains the Peter Kane video, of course. Peter Kane is a satirist, and I don't know if I find his stuff funny or not. But
anthropomorphic attribution and scientific analysis of paranormal abilities in Bigfoot research, a comprehensive critical examination. Yeah, I got through that. That's good. Wow,
a lot of sources in that.
That was a big section there.
Yeah, and we look at case studies too as well. And we also cover a section about the association with UAP/UFOs, and we do a scientific paper on that. Another critical examination. And usually, when a paper says a critical examination, it usually means that we're gonna find fault with it. And here are the scientific reasons behind that fault. And the UFO section, everybody's heard me talk about that, but the section in the book comes up with a lot more than just what I normally talk about necessarily. And I don't know why. Oh, I know why. There we go. I was like, why is that? Ooh.
We were zoomed in a little bit there.
But
I love that thumbnail. Is that AI?
Yeah.
Did that with AI? That's good.
I do a new Bigfoot every week.
Laughing Bigfoot. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Henry says he's stationed in Brunswick for 7 years. Hunted and fished all over. Enjoyed great for hunting. Yeah.
Henry is a new person as well. Welcome, Henry.
Welcome. Good to see you, Henry.
Welcome aboard. And like I said, usually we have more serious nights. Tonight we're just kind of having a relaxed night and kind of a fun night. Let me just see if we have anything else here on the oh yeah. For those who didn't see, is we got to show the neighbor video. Let's do that before we go tonight, and then we'll see.
I like that one. I like that one.
Here we are.
I ain't trying to be out here handling things 2 or 3 times, world. Ow! 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 God! Ow! Ow! Ow!
Oh, that hurt me. Just watching that. That hurt. Oh, God. Oh. Is anybody else's leg hurting after watching?
Yeah, I think we've all done that before. Hit her leg on her trailer hitch, and man, that hurts like a mother.
Yes, bonk. It's right there in the shin too. I mean, it gets you right there in the shin, and I don't know what it is. It's like an electrical jolt or something.
But by the way, here's a funny thing. When I posted that on YouTube Shorts, I actually had somebody call me a racist.
A racist?
Probably because I had a mug with the Gaston flag on it. The "Don't Tread on Me."
Well, that's not racist.
Well,
I don't get how
some people will attribute that to like some of the militia movements or whatever in the United States. But mine is purely a Revolutionary War thing because, as people can see, today I'm wearing my
Saratoga
bat on my is that I'm a very big civil Rev War buff.
Revolutionary War.
Right, yep. And the Gaston flag was used quite a bit, especially here in New England, of all places. So
not a lot of Revolutionary War history in Kentucky, but we have a lot of Civil War stuff going on. A lot of battlefields around here.
Yeah, normally, I just you know what, block and see you later. I don't need that person in my life. I don't know why they're calling me a racist, but nothing better. Some oversensitive.
Well, I've noticed that I can't really get into that without getting into a political discussion, so I'm not going to go there. But there seems to be a type of mindset that calls anything they don't agree with racist.
Well, I don't even know what there is to disagree or agree. I'm just out there having fun with something, and somebody's got to be pardon my French, somebody's just got to be an asshole about things.
Yeah, well.
So, what I did is like block, goodbye, and kind of laugh them off like, what an ignorant person.
Oh, boy. Hey, Mick.
So anyway, well, Chris, we are at the end of the show for tonight.
Oh,
went by quick tonight.
Yeah, it goes by quick. 1 hour. It flies by. And, you know, time flies when you're having fun. I have a good time, especially with all the guys over in chat and gals.
Yep.
When I say guys, I mean, you know, guys and gals. But, yeah, you guys make everything. It's always fun. And that's one reason I love to come here and hang out with you guys. And I'm glad that you feel the same way. You came in here and hang out with us, man. I'm honored. If it's your first time watching tonight, and I saw some new names in there, if you hadn't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps us. If you haven't hit that thumbs up already, smash it on the way out.
That's right.
That helps us too. You know, that's what they say anyway. But thank you guys. We appreciate you.
So Mick is asking if we're having a Friday show. I have to get back to everybody on that. Just keep an eye out. Reason being is that I am a guest on a show Friday night as I start my book promotion tour on some other podcasts where I'll be discussing the book at length. So that may conflict with our time here. So I will do that show, and I may actually be able to simulcast that show. So if I am on that show and able to simulcast it, you'll see me on this Friday. I'll be on the Blonde and Booze show. And they deal with all kinds, and they deal with paranormal. They deal with Dogman. They deal with all kinds of different areas of phenomena, but it's a good area to get out there and pitch the book. Yeah. But if I can simulcast it, I will simulcast it on this channel so everybody will see it here. Just so you know. I think I did the last one, so I think I may be able to do that. So there may be me appearing as a guest on another podcast for this Friday night, as opposed to us doing a show.
That will be
straight
cool.
out. So we'll see. But yep, like I said, it's all about having fun, and we will be back Sunday night at the very least with a whole new topic. And I got some ideas floating in my head, and you guys will see. We'll do something scientific this Sunday. So, all right, folks. Chris, do your thing.
Well, again, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. You know, if you hadn't already subscribed, please do so.
That's right.
You're the greatest audience we could ever hope for. I know I always say that because I always mean it. Thank you so much. And thanks again, Jay, for gifting those memberships.
Yes, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay, so much for gifting those memberships.
Supporting the channel, you know, bless you. Bless you. Thank you.
And folks, we will see you all. At the very least, we'll see you Sunday night, maybe Friday. If not, we'll be simulcasting Friday with the Blonde and Booze show. So anyway, folks, everybody have a great week. Be safe out there. Stay safe. And, of course, keep on squatching. We'll see everybody very shortly. Have a good week.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And, oh, yes, hit that notification bell, too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member, and it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe, and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.